You might believe that when he walked away without looking back, your silence didn't faze him. That what you don't say just fades into nothing. But here's the truth most women overlook. Your quietness echoes inside his mind far louder than any words ever could. You're not invisible to him. You're under his microscope. He's watching, waiting to see if you'll plead, pursue, or shrink yourself just to stay in his world. But when you hold your silence, complete and unwavering, you do something truly unsettling. You reveal to him, in the clearest way possible, what losing you really means. And that silence? It doesn't just unsettle him, it lingers. It haunts. This isn't some childish game. This is self-respect crashing into his reality like a tidal wave. He expected you to break down, to linger, to quietly suffer in some forgotten corner. Instead, you disappeared without a trace. Now, he's unraveling inside. Let me explain what's really playing out in his head, why your silence isn't just silence, why it's a force shaking his very core, and why it's tearing him apart even if he'll never admit it. When a man rejects you, he's bracing himself for drama, tears, endless texts, desperate explanations, maybe a last chance to flex his power. His ego craves that. It feeds on being the one who walks away victorious. He's not rejecting because he's confident, he's rejecting because he assumes he still controls the story. He expects you to chase just enough to remind him you cared. But when you don't cry, don't beg, don't even respond, you completely break his script. Your silence isn't passive, it's disruptive. It forces him to question whether he's just let go of something far more valuable than he realized. Your silence doesn't just confuse him, it shatters his sense of self. He built this image of himself as the one in control, the one calling the shots. By rejecting you, he thought he'd feel bigger, stronger, more desirable. But the moment you don't react the way he expected, that illusion crumbles. He's used to seeing you fall apart, not vanish. That gap you leave creates a void he can't fill, and soon it becomes an obsession. He's checking your social media, rereading your old messages, replaying your last conversation, searching desperately for clues. Your silence says more than any words ever could. The biggest mistake women make is rushing to fill that silence, reaching out for closure, explanations, or one last emotional exchange to prove their worth. But the real power lies in saying nothing at all. Not out of bitterness or pride, but because you understand your value doesn't need to be justified. When he hears silence instead of heartbreak, it forces him to confront his choice. It throws him into panic mode. He expected you to be emotionally dependent, but you're emotionally detached. And that difference? It's brutal. Think about it. When a man knows exactly how you feel, he feels control. When he doesn't, he spirals. He starts doubting everything. Did he misread you? Underestimate your strength? Or worse, did he throw away someone truly irreplaceable? And here's the kicker, the less you say, the more his mind runs wild. Every silent moment becomes fuel for his imagination. Did you meet someone new? Did you stop caring? Did you move on without a second thought? Those questions don't just linger, they torment him. Men can handle anger, begging, tears, even shouting. But what they can't handle is uncertainty. Silence breeds uncertainty, and that's poison for his ego. When you pull away and stop reacting, you flip the power dynamic instantly. He thought he held the upper hand. He thought he knew your next move. Now, he's left guessing. And once a man starts guessing, he loses control. That uncertainty doesn't just irritate him, it consumes him. It forces him into unfamiliar territory, vulnerability. He's used to reading your emotions, predicting your reactions, and keeping his options open while you're emotionally available. But your silence blindsides him. He can't tell if you're hurt, angry, moving on, or indifferent. That empty space breaks the categories he uses to label women: needy, clingy, casual, emotional. When you go silent, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability feels threatening to a man who believed he had all the power. Most women break the silence too soon because uncertainty feels unbearable to them as well. They want to check in, explain, or clarify. But that's the moment your silence packs the most punch. By staying quiet, you force him to live in confusion. You make him face the reality that you're no longer emotionally available on his terms. Here's the psychological truth. Uncertainty triggers his fix-it mode. He craves reassurance but now has no access to you. Your silence creates a space where his own mind becomes his enemy. He reads into every detail, imagines messages in your posts, interprets missed calls as signs. The script he depended on is gone. And that loss of control? It terrifies him. Men rarely admit it, but uncertainty wounds them deeper than any visible attack. They hide it behind pride and distance, but deep down, when he doesn't know where he stands, your silence is the loudest wake-up call he ever receives. Men chase what they can't reach, not because they're emotionally profound but because unpredictability lights up their brain's reward system. When a man feels he can figure you out, he mentally checks out. But when you stop feeding him updates, stop reacting on cue, you become a puzzle he can't solve. And puzzles are irresistible. The mistake women make is explaining too much, thinking clarity equals connection. But men don't connect through emotional logic like women do. They connect through pursuit, mystery, and the thrill of the unknown. Your silence after rejection flips the entire story. Instead of vulnerability, you show detachment. Instead of clarity, you create mystery. You're no longer the woman who needed him. You're the woman he can't read. And men chase what they can't decode, not out of love, but ego, curiosity, and chemistry. You took yourself off his shelf and put yourself into his blind spot. Now all his focus is on you. Men let their ego make choices their hearts aren't ready for. When he rejected you, it was likely less about you and more about his own fears. He told himself he wasn't ready, or it was easier to walk away than to lean in. That moment wasn't about clarity, it was about control. His ego wanted power, dominance, and the final say. But your silence left him with a choice that's starting to feel like a colossal mistake. What hits him now isn't just your absence, it's realizing he didn't truly grasp what he lost. Men's regret comes slowly. At first, pride numbs the pain. But over time, when your silence remains, when your life moves forward without him, reality sinks in. You didn't break down without him. You didn't plead or crumble. Your unexpected strength starts to rewrite his memories. Instead of feeling in control, he feels exposed because he didn't expect your silence. Many women try to argue with a man's ego, hoping to convince him of their worth. That's a trap. Talking feeds his pride. Doing nothing starves it. Silence isn't punishment, it's self-protection. And ironically, that protection is what breaks him. He imagined you'd chase. He expected you'd fight. But your silence disrupted his narrative. Now, he's replaying every moment, not you. Men don't reflect easily, they're slower to process loss. But your silence gave his ego time to crash, allowing regret to rise. Every quiet moment, every missed message, every social post without him pushes him deeper into the truth. He let go of someone who never needed him. That truth is unbearable for a man who wanted to feel irreplaceable. And now you're unreachable. His mind races with questions. Who's she with? Did she move on? Does she even think about me? His regret peaks when he realizes you were the real deal, and pride made him walk away. Your silence handed him the consequences. Men expect reactions because they want to feel power. When he rejected you, he expected pain, confusion, desperation. But when you stayed calm, didn't chase or plead, you short-circuited him. That emotional void forces him to question everything he believed. Doubt creeps in quietly, then all at once. He begins to wonder if he made the right call, if what he said was true. What unsettles him isn't just your silence, it's your confidence behind it. You didn't beg him to see your value. You didn't argue or fight. You simply stepped away. That subtle move shakes him. He wonders if you were ever truly attached. If he misread you completely. Your stillness makes him feel like he's the one left behind, and nothing rattles a man more than overestimating his own importance. Too often, women respond with explanations. They want to clarify how they feel, why it hurts, or how he misunderstood. But that gives him closure and lets him walk away emotionally unscathed. When you stay composed and silent, he loses the emotional confirmation he counted on. Doubt grows. He replays every conversation, every tone, every glance from the end. This isn't romance, it's psychological discomfort. Men crave certainty. When they decide something, they want it clean and final. Your lack of reaction removes that certainty. He can't label you, can't decode you. His confidence falters. In this silence, he battles an invisible opponent, his own mind. He chases ghosts and questions, haunted by what's missing. And that missing piece is you. So, if you want to break free, if you want to truly take control after rejection, own your silence. Don't rush to fill it. Don't justify your absence. Let your quietness speak volumes about your worth, your boundaries, and your strength. Remember, silence after rejection isn't absence. It's presence on your own terms. It's power disguised as calm. And it's the one thing that unsettles him more than any argument ever could.